Here's a shocking truth that will change how you think about your child's sleep forever. 95% of parents unknowingly sabotage their child's sleep every single week, and they have no idea they're doing it. This one mistake is causing behavior problems that make you pull your hair out. It's creating learning issues that teachers blame on everything else. It's damaging your child's physical health in ways that won't show up until years later. And here's the most frustrating part: you're probably doing this mistake right now, thinking you're being a good parent. But don't worry, because by the end of this video, you'll discover exactly what this devastating mistake is, why it's destroying your family's peace, and most importantly, how to fix it instantly with one simple change. This isn't about bedtime routines or screen time limits. This is about something completely different that's been hiding in plain sight. Get ready to transform your child's sleep, behavior, and your entire family's life starting tonight. Complete sleep mistake script. All sections. Picture this nightmare scenario that plays out in millions of homes every single night. Exhausted parents dragging themselves through another bedtime battle with cranky, overtired kids who fight sleep like it's their worst enemy. You've tried everything: the perfect bedtime routine, story time, white noise machines, blackout curtains, even cutting screen time hours before bed. You follow all the expert advice religiously. Your Pinterest board is full of sleep tips, and your bookshelf has every sleep training book ever written. Yet here you are, 3 hours past bedtime, with a child who's melting down, crying, and absolutely refusing to sleep. The irony is heartbreaking. You think you're doing everything right. You're following the rules, being consistent with routines, creating the perfect sleep environment. But your child is still having behavioral problems. At school, struggling to focus, having emotional meltdowns over tiny things. Teachers are calling about attention issues, and you're wondering if something is seriously wrong. Here's the shocking truth: this isn't about bedtime routines or screen time at all. The real culprit is something completely different, something so sneaky that almost every parent misses it entirely. Are you ready for this? The mistake that's destroying your child's sleep is inconsistent bedtime schedules between weekdays and weekends. I know what you're thinking: that sounds way too simple to cause such massive problems. But stick with me, because this is a game changer. Here's what most parents do without even realizing it. Monday through Thursday, you're strict about bedtime. 7 o'clock sharp, kids are in bed, lights out by 7:30. You're militant about this schedule because you know they need their sleep for school. Then Friday night arrives, and suddenly everything changes. It's the weekend. Family movie night runs until 9:30. Saturday brings birthday parties, family dinners, and late bedtimes. Sunday night, you're visiting grandparents, and the kids don't get to bed until 10. This seems completely harmless, right? You're just being flexible and enjoying family time. But what you've actually done is given your child jet lag. Yes, jet lag, right in your own home. Scientists call this social jet lag, and it's wreaking absolute havoc on your child's internal body clock. Every weekend, you're essentially flying your child to a different time zone, then forcing them to fly back on Monday morning. Let me explain what's happening inside your child's body in simple terms. Every human being has an internal clock called circadian rhythms. Think of it as a precise, biological stopwatch that controls when your body feels sleepy, when it releases hormones, when it repairs itself, and when it's most alert. This clock is incredibly powerful, especially in children whose brains are still developing. When you maintain consistent bedtimes, this internal clock runs smoothly like a perfectly tuned engine. Your child naturally feels sleepy at the right time, falls asleep easily, and wakes up refreshed. But when you constantly shift schedules, you're essentially taking a hammer to this delicate clock mechanism. Every time you let bedtime slide by 2 or 3 hours on weekends, you're forcing your child's body to adjust to a completely new schedule. Then Monday comes, and you expect them to instantly snap back to their weekday schedule. It's impossible. Research shows that it takes 1 day to recover from every hour of schedule shift. So if your child goes to bed 3 hours late on weekend nights, it takes 3 full days for their body to readjust. That means your child is essentially jet-lagged from Monday through Wednesday every single week. Let me paint you a picture of how this plays out in a typical family. Meet Sarah, a mom who thinks she's doing everything right. Monday through Thursday, her 6-year-old son Jake goes to bed at 7 p.m. sharp. He falls asleep easily, sleeps through the night, and wakes up refreshed for school. Life is good. Then Friday night arrives. It's family movie night, so Jake stays up until 9:30. Saturday brings a birthday party that runs late. Bedtime becomes 10 p.m. Sunday, they're at Grandma's house for dinner, and Jake doesn't hit the pillow until 9:45. Monday morning is a disaster. Jake can't fall asleep Sunday night because his body clock thinks it's only 6 p.m. He tosses and turns for hours, finally falling asleep around 11 p.m. The alarm goes off at 6:30 a.m., but Jake's body thinks it's 3:30 in the morning. He's exhausted, cranky, and completely out of sorts. Tuesday isn't much better. Jake is still trying to readjust. Struggling with focus at school, having emotional meltdowns at home. By Wednesday, he's starting to get back on track, but then Friday arrives again, and the whole cycle repeats. This is happening in 95% of homes across the country every single week. The damage from this constant schedule shifting goes far deeper than just crankiness and bedtime battles. Your child's learning and attention are suffering in ways you might not even connect to sleep. When kids are sleep-deprived and jet-lagged, their ability to focus, process information, and retain memories is severely compromised. Teachers report behavior problems, difficulty following instructions, and academic struggles, but they rarely connect it to inconsistent sleep schedules. The emotional regulation issues are even more serious. Sleep-deprived children have a much harder time controlling their emotions, leading to frequent meltdowns, aggressive behavior, and difficulty making friends. Their little bodies are also paying a price. Disrupted sleep affects growth, hormones, immune system function, and even weight regulation. Meanwhile, parents are completely exhausted and stressed, wondering why their child is so difficult when other kids seem so much easier. The family harmony you're desperately seeking becomes impossible when everyone is operating on a constantly shifting schedule. Perhaps most concerning are the long-term effects. Children who experience chronic social jet lag are at higher risk for anxiety, depression, attention disorders, and academic problems that can follow them well into adulthood. You're not just dealing with tonight's bedtime battle, you're potentially setting patterns that will affect your child's entire future. So why do 95% of parents make this mistake without even realizing it? The answer lies in our culture and well-meaning intentions. We live in a society that treats weekends as sacred family time. There's enormous pressure to say yes to every birthday party, family gathering, and special event. When Grandma invites the family for Sunday dinner at 6 p.m., saying no feels impossible and even selfish. We've been told that flexibility is good for kids, that they need to learn to adapt to different situations. The myth that kids will catch up on sleep is incredibly persistent, even though science proves this is completely false. Most parents have no idea that children's sleep biology is so much more rigid and sensitive than adult sleep patterns. We assume that because we can pull an all-nighter and function the next day, our kids can handle schedule changes too. Social media makes it worse. We see other families posting photos of late-night adventures and weekend fun, making us feel like strict sleep schedules are too rigid or boring. Extended family. often doesn't understand the importance of consistent bedtimes, putting additional pressure on parents to be more flexible. The truth is, we make this mistake because we genuinely believe we're creating happy childhood memories and being good, involved parents. Here's the life-changing solution that will transform your family's sleep and behavior overnight: the 30-minute rule. Never let your child's bedtime vary by more than 30 minutes from their regular schedule, even on weekends and special occasions. That's it. If your child's regular bedtime is 7 p.m., the latest they should ever go to bed is 7:30 p.m., even on Saturday nights. I know this sounds strict, but hear me out. This small change will preserve your child's circadian rhythm while still allowing some flexibility for real life. You can still have family movie nights, just start them earlier. Birthday parties can still happen, just plan around bedtime or leave early when needed. Sunday dinner at grandma's can still be special, just suggest an earlier time or be prepared to head home. For families who are already stuck in the inconsistent schedule trap, you'll need to gradually adjust. If your child is currently going to bed at 10 p.m. on weekends, don't jump straight to 7:30. Move bedtime earlier by 15 minutes each night until you reach your target. The key is making this sustainable for your real life while protecting your child's biology. This isn't about being rigid or missing out on fun, it's about understanding that consistent sleep is the foundation for everything else in your child's life. Let's talk about how to actually make this work in the real world. Week 1 is about establishing your target bedtime and communicating the new plan to everyone involved. Choose a bedtime that works for school nights and stick to it within 30 minutes every single night. When family members push back, they will explain that this is about your child's health and development, not about being controlling. Plan weekend activities with bedtime in mind. If there's a birthday party from 4 to 8 p.m., politely let the host know you'll need to leave by 7 to get home for bedtime. Most parents are understanding when you explain it's for your child's sleep schedule. For special occasions like holidays or family visits, you have two choices: adjust the schedule to work around bedtime, or accept that you'll have one slightly later night and be extra consistent the rest of the week. Involve caregivers, babysitters, and family members in this plan. Everyone needs to understand that bedtime consistency isn't negotiable. Within just 1 week, you'll start seeing improvements in your child's mood, behavior, and sleep quality. Most families report dramatic changes within 2 weeks. Easier bedtimes, better school behavior, fewer emotional meltdowns, and much happier mornings. The transformation is often so dramatic that parents wish they'd known about this years earlier. Think about everything we've covered today. That one simple mistake, letting bedtime slide by more than 30 minutes on weekends, is creating social jet lag. That's destroying your child's sleep, behavior, learning, and emotional regulation. It's causing family stress, school problems, and setting your child up for long-term health issues. But here's the incredible news: the fix is so simple that you can implement it starting tonight. The 30-minute rule isn't about being rigid or missing out on family fun. It's about understanding that consistent sleep is the foundation for everything good in your child's life. Better sleep means better behavior, better learning, better emotional regulation, and a much happier family. This one small change, keeping bedtime within 30 minutes of the regular schedule, will transform your child's entire world. No more bedtime battles, no more Monday morning meltdowns, no more wondering why your child is struggling when you're doing everything else right. You now have the key to unlocking peaceful nights, happy mornings, and the harmonious family life you've been desperately seeking. The power to change everything is literally in your hands starting tonight. I want to hear from you in the comments. What's been your biggest sleep struggle with your kids? Have you noticed the weekend bedtime pattern affecting your family? Starting tonight, I challenge you to try the 30-minute rule for just 1 week and see the transformation for yourself. If this video opened your eyes to something you never realized before, Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more game-changing parenting solutions that actually work. And here's the most important part: share this video with every exhausted parent you know. They're probably making this same mistake without realizing it, and you could literally change their family's life by sharing this information. Trust me, they'll thank you when their kids start sleeping better and behaving better almost overnight. I'll see you in the next video where we'll tackle another parenting challenge that's hiding in plain sight.